Hello, everybody. How you doing today? It's a new day. It's a fresh day. I hope you're up, shaking, and baking. I always say that all the guests on the Paul Foh Podcast are super, super powerful. Today is the first time. Okay, this is the second time I'm having two co-founders on the podcast. The first time was there was these guys that own an AI company here in the UK. So you guys are the second. So welcome to the podcast. We have go with us the co-founders of Cargo Plug. How you doing?
So very
Kike
well,
and Ujama. Did I get your name right?
Yes, please. Thanks for having us.
First, I was telling you guys before the recording, I said you guys are very resilient, persistent, entrepreneurial because I've known you guys for a long time. The name of your company was first called Jandtogidi, and then you morphed it to Cargo Plus. Let's start with that. Why that change?
Why the change? So we started Jandtogidi to solve the UK to Nigeria problem. So people would always want to ship from the UK and always asking, do you know anybody traveling? Do you have any people that can do a favor for me? So we started a company for the UK to Nigeria. But of course, at the time, we had no idea. In fact, we started it as a side business, as a side project, and had no idea it would turn into what it is today. We started just for UK to Nigeria, just the lane we knew, and kind of started that. And of course, in a short period, we started doing deliveries from the US, from Canada, China, exports, and it kind of blew up, beyond our initial thoughts. And so when we turned 10 in 2023, 10 years later, we decided that it was time to finally rebrand because people associated us only with the UK to Nigeria. Meanwhile, we had other services. Even some of
Oh,
our clients, even some family members didn't know we actually did anything outside of just UK to Nigeria. And we also wanted to reposition for more serious business. We now started having more business clients, more corporate clients, multinationals on our clients list. And the name Jantogidi just seemed too slangy for doing,
yeah,
corporate business. So we
yeah.
decided to expand into cargo plug, meaning that when you're plugged for anything to do with cargo, whether you need it by air, by sea, or by road. So that's why Cargo Plug had to rebrand, and we're here to stay. And when you're friendly, when you're everyday global shipper,
I
Cargo
like
Plug.
that. I like 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 that. Amma, you guys have a customer first mission. You're very customer centric. How do you handle the part of your business that sometimes is out of your control? The delivery people, the logistics people, and that can be a headache. How do you handle that part, Amma?
So I think it's just about keeping the customer informed. Always put yourself in the customer's shoes. So it's the same way you feel like, if I think once people know what's going on, they are more relaxed. But when you keep people in the dark, and I think that's a very Nigerian thing to do, it's a part of the Nigerian culture in a way, where you just think, okay, if I keep quiet, they will just not remember. And that's not the truth. You have to keep people updated. So that's what we've had to do. That's what we've learned along the line. And it's something we enforce in our office. We're very, very particular. If there is a delay, let the customer know. If something happens to a shipment, let the clients know. And don't tell them at the last minute. Keep them in the loop from start to finish. And that's one of the reasons why we adopted technology in our business. We have been able to, build a tech team that has now built a custom website where the customer is kept updated from start to finish. So that has helped to reduce the number of issues our customers have. And then we are reachable. So you can send us an email, you can send us a WhatsApp message, you get a response. Not somewhere where you send a message and then we tell you we'll get back to you in 5 days. We'll get back to you at least within an hour, 2 hours maximum. If we can get back sooner, we'll do that. So I think those are the ways we've been able to manage it.
Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. You guys just launched in the UK, right? Or just opened an office in the UK. Tell us more about that. And why? Why that move?
So yeah, we recently launched our own self-run hub. So I'd like to add,
Yes.
obviously, that we've been doing reviews, but we've been leveraging on partnerships. Now, there isn't anything wrong in partnerships, but when you can, I think it's good to branch out and start your own thing, when you build capability. So the reason we had to do that was because the UK still is our biggest market. It's still where we have most of our clients coming from. So we had to establish our own presence so as to, I think, fine tune the process. So now we own the process. We're able to give customers speedier updates. We're able to
I
offer a
like that.
more solution. So it's not just a
Mm.
blank to Nigeria service. Now it's tailored to Kike, it's tailored to Ama, it's tailored to Paul Foh. Whatever you need, we can handle. If you want us to keep your packages for a certain period of time, maybe 2 weeks maximum, we can. Previously, we would have struggled with passing those kinds of messages across to third parties.
Yeah.
We've cut out the We've opened up Europe to Nigeria. So from the UK, we can obviously access other European countries. And it's just helping us deepen our ties with the UK.
Mm. Mm.
Full UK, and it's like a full circle moment for us now, going back to build the UK economy in the way we know best how to. So it was just the right time. Following on from our Techstars Accelerator, we felt the
Yeah.
need to push our presence there and reach out more to our corporate clients in the UK and
Mm.
offer our service more towards the global brands. I should also add that our tech team, as Emma spoke about earlier, have actually built shipping APIs. Now, those shipping APIs can be plugged into, like an Amazon, for example, can be plugged into a Boohoo, for
Oh.
instance. So if we want to have a relationship with the Boohoos and the likes,
Oh.
obviously we have to have a physical presence. We can't say, okay, go to our partner's warehouse. If they want to inspect the warehouse, for example, we can't direct them to our partner's warehouse. We have to have our own presence. So those are some of the considerations we had before setting up the UK office. And then just being able to service the diaspora. Like that's where we believe that we'll have the most value because they're actually based there. And now we have a lot of, in fact, you're part of those that have actually left Nigeria and gone to the UK. And obviously
I like
need to
that.
keep sending packages for business or for personal use back to
Yeah.
Nigeria. So just being there deepens our connection,
I
improves
like
our
that. I
service,
like that. I
and
like that. I mean, as you
cuts
guys talking about it,
costs
just remind me
for
I
our
have some
customers.
package to send right now because
Oh,
I've got some books in Lagos, my physical books that I need to move to the UK here. I want to ask you guys a question
Oh, really?
about
are you hearing me?
you guys are the you people are the
Are you
second
hearing me on the screen?
Techstars Accelerator graduate that I've had on the podcast.
We are
Tell
the
us about
third.
no, you guys are the
Mhm.
second Techstars
Okay.
Accelerator graduate or alumni that I've had on
Okay.
this podcast, right?
Okay.
Tell us about that experience. How did that expand your mind, broaden your vision, deepen your understanding of the market? What was that experience like?
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. I think, first of all, being in the Techstars Accelerator is a testament to your network is your net worth, really, because we were referred by a friend of ours that's also in the program. And, because we were referred, I think that really helped in us getting a listening ear, the eyes of Techstars. It was an amazing experience. I know that we were very emotional when we got in because we had tried we had tried getting in I think a year or 2 years before
Wow.
that, and we weren't successful. But it was great to, I think, during the interview process, one thing that I think the managing director of that Techstars Washington said is, I'm so happy to meet entrepreneurs that are actually doing real work. They are not just showing us the technology, they are actually solving a problem. At least it's not something they see all the time. And that helped to kind of validate what we've been building over the years. Yes, we love, having technology, but it's important to actually be doing the work. So it was a great experience. It was about a few weeks, starting in September, ended in December actually. A few months, we were able to learn. We were able to take the business apart, pick out our target audience, kind of understand what our customers are looking for, understand how to even pitch to investors. It was an excellent experience. We also had access to like a network of mentors that helped to look through our business, helped us to, kind of validate our models. Also with regards to marketing, target audience, how we're selling the business, how we're raising investments. It was a whole lot, and we were also able to get funding from that, which was fantastic for our business, because I think we needed it just at that time. So it was a wonderful experience. I'll highly recommend it to anybody that is just starting up. Accelerator is a very good accelerator to get into.
Great. It was John Oamen that I interviewed, a construct. I don't know if you know
Okay.
him.
I think
Yes,
so.
yes,
Yeah, we
yes.
know
Yeah, John Oamen is a
construct.
coaching client of mine. I work with their sales team. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Amma and Kiki, I want to ask you as a question. If you had to do it all over again, what role will you employ first and why? Knowing what you now know.
When you say do it all again, is it cargo plug?
Yeah,
Running a
cargo.
business?
Let's say Jandtogidi and then the morph into cargo plug. If you had to start all over again, what roles would you employ first and why? Knowing
I
what you
think
now
I'll
know.
I think I'll say business development.
So where?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I
Sorry.
can hear you.
Business development.
Loud and clear. Wow. Tell me why.
Because at the beginning, right,
Why?
you're I hope can you hear me now? I think there's a delay. I don't know why this always happens. Meanwhile, my internet
Sorry.
is
No
sorry
problem.
about this. So
Please give us a minute.
can I leave and then rejoin with Wi-Fi? Now it's working. Can you
Uh-huh.
hear me now? Okay, so
Loud
why
and clear.
business development? Okay. Why business development? I feel like at the beginning we were, you start when you start a business, you're your first
Why business
marketer, you're also
development?
the content creator, you're the customer service, you're the one doing everything. But I think that we could have outsourced or maybe hit the ground running. I feel like even if it's delayed, like it will still catch up, so I can just carry on.
Yes, it will. Just go ahead. Just go ahead. Just go ahead. Yeah.
So I feel like at the beginning we were doing everything. We had our hands in so many pies, and I think that we would have been able to hit the ground running faster if we had BD guys. Now we started, well, guys and ladies. We started at the beginning with just individuals in our target. So we would want to bring in one pair
Mm-hmm.
of shoes, one bag, small packages. Meanwhile, the BD team would have been able to go after the higher ticket transactions from the start. Now that has come in,
Yeah.
but we're a little late to the game in quotes. We could have, if we had started earlier, I think that's something that would have helped us skyrocket even faster because we did gain a lot of ground in our early days, but for the B2C market. Chasing the B2B and B2B2C would have been amazing right from the get go. So that's
Yeah.
one thing I think
Yeah.
I would. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Very, 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 very good. All right. Now we have a talent challenge in Nigeria. We have a talent, and I'm sure you're facing that recruiting talent. How are you guys managing that experience? Because I think it was Bill Gates that said that a great team is a competitive advantage. So how are you managing that?
It's tough. Managing it, I think for us, one of the things we've done is to make our workspace like family. I'll say make it livable, make it something that people enjoy coming to every day because people spend at least 6 to 8 hours in the
Yeah.
office space. So you need to make sure that it's conducive for
For
them to
them.
be able
Yeah.
to work
Yeah.
and treat them right so that you don't have any issues or high turnovers. Now we've been lucky, I would say, over the past couple of years to have staff that have stayed. I think we celebrated. I think one of our drivers has been here for at least over 6 years, going almost 10 years, close to 10 years. And one of our staff, our longest serving staff, that is now like a team lead manager, he's been here for over 5 years, going on 6 years this year. So we have people and they stay and they're young. So, and when we ask, questions like, okay, what makes you stay? It's almost a case of, oh, we feel like, we're working with family. We have an open door policy. If you have an issue, come, we have a chat about it. I think that's how we've been able to kind of keep the talent we have. In terms of hiring talent, everybody knows it's super expensive to hire talent. So I think for us, what we've tried to do is the talent that we have, we've tried to keep them and make everyone as happy as possible for the business. So not at the detriment of the business, as happy as possible, and just make sure that there's an open policy in terms of, not being afraid to speak up if there's a challenge. We have sit down
Yeah.
sessions with our team on Fridays. Sometimes we have like little mini hangouts just to kind of get everybody relaxed and be able to open up, because at that point people will open up and say, that deal, I didn't like this, I didn't like that, and everybody's in like a more relaxed mood. You can kind of
Yeah.
understand what makes them tick, and I think also understanding the people you work with. That's something that we're learning as well. When you understand who you're working with, your expectations change. If you know that somebody is good at a certain thing, then you push them towards that, and then train them for the other areas. But you kind of leverage on people's strengths. That also helps in keeping, when you're keeping talents in your team.
Great. Guys, I hope you're enjoying this episode of the Paul Foh Podcast. The link is going to be in the show notes. If you have a product to move from the UK to Nigeria, you have a product to move from Nigeria to the UK. I just realized that I've got a couple of my physical books in Lagos, over 500 copies. And I was actually thinking about reprinting them here in the UK.
Oh, wow.
I just talking to you right now, I'm going to call Emmanuel right now to get in touch with someone in your office and see how we can move some of the books here. You can imagine. I'm sure there's somebody out there. When I get the book, I'm going to do like a UGC video, user generated video, and say, see, my stuff has coming from a cargo vlog. All right. So there's one question I always like asking founders, and the question is, how did you get your first 100 customers? Kiki and Lama, how do you guys get your first 100 customers?
To get the first,
specifically,
at first it was word of mouth. It was word of mouth, and basically word of mouth, and just leveraging on our friends being there. We were in paid employment when we started, right? So this was a side project for us. And in terms of getting customers, we used Instagram. Instagram is one of the biggest drivers of our business, and we're super grateful to Meta and Instagram for all of that. But we leveraged on it. We posted. Kika is the social media guru here, so she would be able to tell you. She's the one that comes up with content, all the content you see. But I've learned a lot from working with Kika, because word of mouth. There was nowhere we went to that they didn't know that we did logistics. Kika will always say it. It was always on. It was either on her stories, or she posted it, or she would just slip it into the conversation somehow. So that's how we actually built it. Just leverage on all the people around us, all our friends, got them to use the service. In fact, the company we were working at, one of the managers there, I think, was one of our customers. So it was, I'm telling you, and from there we got referrals to other people, other businesses, and then we were always super keen. So when we delivered a parcel to a customer, we will run down, take pictures, send the customer a text message saying, we were so excited about what we were doing, we're very proud of what we were doing. We'll take pictures, we'll post it, and that also encouraged more people to use the service. So that's really how we did it. It wasn't anything amazing like, we did Google ads, and I think at that time we didn't really have things like that. It was just word of mouth, network.
This is very, very powerful, because somebody's out there trying to start a business. They're thinking about something big to attract customers. You don't know that you need to start from where you are right now. There are people that that can jumpstart the process, for you. I love what you said, Amma, when you said I learned that from Kiki. Kiki, I want to ask you, what have you learned working with Amma?
Oh, okay. I was going to add, sorry to go back. I was going to add to what you just said. I think that people, as you said, start where you are, and don't shy away from marketing your business. People sometimes feel a bit cringe at what people say. But at the end of the day, when you're hungry, or when you have those goods sitting in your house, nobody's going to, what are they going to say? Poverty is going
Please
to
say it
beat you.
again.
I think just don't bother about what people would say. Keep going, and I promise you, people are watching. I've seen that so many times in our business. People are always watching. Even if they don't double tap, they don't forward it, they are saving it, they are watching it, and all you need to focus on is staying top of mind. After you have mentioned, I now sell shea butter, okay, keep telling us in different ways. Nobody says you should be too salesy. Make it fun. Logistics isn't fun. You've had to find, different trends to jump on. Now it's trending. This was in 2013. All this wasn't available. Now that you have TikTok trends, trending sounds, then it was just create the fun in your business. People want to see the reality of your business, not just, okay, package out for delivery. Okay, so let's see the process. Let's see the fun side. Let's see the human side. Because at the end of the day, people want to do business with people. So don't shy away from marketing your business.
This is
Otherwise,
so beautiful.
hunger will meet you in that place. Goods will be, even if you are okay financially, your business still has to grow. Even if
Yeah.
you have other forms of support. And it depends on you. If you don't push your business, nobody can push it for you. No matter how many people you pay to do ads for you, nobody can push your business for you.
This is so
Like you
powerful.
can push it. Yeah, so back to what I've learned from working with Amma. I think accountability, because that's key to being able to maintain a partnership, any kind of partnership, whether it's a business partnership or even a marital partnership or even a friendship. Be accountable. Okay, you guys have something to do together. You can split roles, and then just live up to the promise. Bring something to the table. I've also learned to try not to procrastinate. I'm really bad with that. That's a weakness of mine, which I'm still working on. We're praying to God for relief. Um, but try and do things as they say, as they hot. Just keep going. Don't put it up until the next day, because that way you are likely to forget it. Well, I'm likely to forget it. So I just try and do things as soon as I can. And I'm also learning not to be so scared of numbers. I'm still very, very scared of numbers. I'm better with numbers, but I'm still learning how to at least, like now if I'm calculating, in the past I would just send off something to her like, Amma, please, what is our own price? But now I'm able to at least press calculator a little bit and check this, check that, understand that, okay, this is how you add the margin, blah, blah, blah. Those things, I'm so bad at numbers. But then I'm able to at least be more patient and be more willing to learn or have a more open mind. Sometimes when I see Excel spreadsheets, I'm just saying, it's like still another. Yeah, so we don't do anything, not much, we don't do much with numbers, but I'm
Yeah.
learning to at least embrace that. I'm also learning um, communication. I
Yeah.
think that being able to express yourself respectfully, even if you disagree on something, is
I like
key
that.
to maintaining a good partnership. So I think that being able to understand, people's individual preferences, understand who you're working with, understand your partner, or even if it's your staff, understand the person. I might mention something like that earlier. Understand the person's strengths, understand how they are, and then don't go in the opposite direction. Like now, I know that Amma is not very, she's not the first person to jump at doing content for social media. I'm more likely to jump on. But at the end of the day, we need to do it together. So I won't now say something, set an unrealistic goal for her and say, oh, by the way, come and jump on top of the van with me, or come and somersault or do something crazy. I will just at least throw it out there, but then and see what she's comfortable with. And at the end of the day, focus on the core. Let's just focus on pushing the brand and doing everything to achieve our goals. Because at the end of the day, we're going to win together. So
Yeah.
I think having that or having that teamwork, I think has helped our partnership and kept us in business for this long.
It's a very, very powerful. 10 years in business is not easy, man. You that means it's something
Well,
powerful.
well, I hope
What
12.
is it that you what is it that you what is it that you believed about running a business in Nigeria or in Africa that you no longer believe?
Running a business in Africa.
Or
That's
Nigeria
not
that you no longer
possible.
believe?
That is not possible. I think in Nigeria you're hit with a lot of things in Nigeria running a business, so it's very easy for you to give up. Very easy for you to say that this is not going to work in Nigeria. I've learned to take that mindset out because you see people thriving and still getting on with it. So I think that's the first thing. There's so many opportunities. We just need to think and apply ourselves. So I think that will be the one thing. Nigeria is not conducive for business. I think that's wrong. Nigeria is conducive. You just need to apply yourself and be consistent. One day it will click. And in fact, that goes for us because I know that there are a lot of times that we faced a lot of challenges and we've thought to ourselves, oh my God, how are we going to get past it? But we have been able to just stay focused and see it through, and we've seen the benefits of this. And it even boils down to us going for events, or even we went for a membership interview the other day, and the person interviewing us was a customer. You know, it was very powerful. We were just like, oh my God. And the person was, you know, she was like, oh my God, I know you guys. You know, I didn't know that you guys changed your name and all that. But I mean, sitting there in that room, it showed the impact that we had on people and businesses over
Very
the
good.
years. So when people say it's impossible, I say, no, it is possible. You just have to be consistent in Nigeria.
Beautiful. What about you, Kike? What's it that you believed about doing business in Nigeria and Africa that you no longer believe?
Sometimes people say, okay, just go it, go it alone, like don't do your thing, focus on you. Don't. I think that we underestimate the value of our network.
Mm.
You might think that there's nobody that can help you. You should only seek grace from the next person, or rather, people I think from the next person that can help you make it from the next side. So I think leveraging on your network and keeping your mouth open. Closed mouth never gets fed.
Come on now.
If you have
Mm.
talk about you just never know this kind of thing. And another thing is not just open your mouth, but also when people need something, you also have to be of value. So be of value and others will be of value to you. So now it's not just about you taking and taking and taking. Also look for ways to add to other people. If you see an opportunity maybe in real estate, for example, forward it to your friends that are in real estate. If they see an opportunity tomorrow that is in logistics or something, anything related to logistics or your own brand, they'll remember you. And I think we underestimate the value of running a business ethically.
Mm.
So doing things right. Making sure that you have to have a certain license to produce.
Daniel,
Calm
come
down.
downstairs.
Laugh that. Ask yourself how you can get a license. Everything doesn't have to be what's that word? Everything doesn't have to be so fancy.
Yeah.
Make inquiries and do
Yeah.
things right.
Do the work.
You talk about yes. Also, one thing I'll say is what Alain said about start earlier. It's not easy to start, but when you start good time and you just work hard. Everything is going challenges would help you conquer all those fears and all those nasty things you hear at the same time. Those challenges exist,
Yeah.
but we thrive through them.
Great. How do you guys balance B2C and B2B? Because your business is a hybrid of both, right? Or it's a hybrid of both. And how do you guys balance that in terms of, at getting into different sectors? For example, I play a lot in the real estate space, all right, as a trainer, as an investor, but I don't know of a logistics company that is playing a lot in our space. And my space brings in a lot. I'm going to talk to you guys about this later, though. They bring in a lot of things from outside into the country. Yeah, I mean, last year alone, according to CBN, diaspora spending was $4.2 billion. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The earnings call for Zenith Bank last year was 3 point something trillion naira. About 6% of that went to the real estate industry. So that's a massive B2B. So I'm just asking. I'm just curious right now. How do you balance that B2B and B2C? Do you have somebody special on that end, or tell us more about that?
In terms of balancing it out, I think the first thing I'll say is now what we're learning to do is how to approach the customers you're looking for. So you can't treat a B2C the same way you treat a B2B, right?
Yeah.
With B2Bs, you're leveraging on network, you're leveraging on your network really. One thing that we've also started doing is attending conferences, attending expos. At these
Yes.
expos, you'll be exposed to all these brands, businesses that are also looking to ship. Go in, have a conversation, network. We've had like business development officers that have come in, gone out to bring in business because that's a different, the approach is different. You have to give
Yeah.
them emails, you have to sign up, you have to register. So you have to have like a dedicated team for B2Bs and be intentional about it. You have to follow up, and know that the lead times for businesses is a lot longer than individuals. Individuals can make a quick decision, but businesses, it takes time. So you have to be in their faces and just keep building. So that's what we've learned over the past couple of years. Also with ads as well. We find that Google ads are a lot better for businesses, Google ads as opposed to the Instagram ads. Also, positioning ourselves on LinkedIn as
Thought
thought
leaders.
leaders, yes, has also helped because there are a lot of business owners there that see it and just remember top of mind. Okay, I saw that lady the other day. I saw that guy the other day. Okay, but let's give them a chance. So that's what we've had to do really, and I think we already understand the B2C market, but the B2B market we've had to do a lot of research and learn, unlearn, relearn, do a lot, move teams around just to make it happen, and I think we're on track now to really capture that market.
Very, very good. In fact, if you guys had the time, I would recommend a conference for you guys to attend if you could. This Wednesday, it's called the Lagos Real Estate Festival. Lagos Real Estate Fest.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, mention
Microsoft,
that.
everybody's going to be there. It's massive. I'm speaking, but it's virtual. So I can make a few introductions because most of the big boys are going to be there. And trust me, they buy stuff from this country. So I want to ask you another question about expansion, global ambitions. You are eyeing the US, you're eyeing Turkey, you're eyeing China next. What lessons from Nigeria and the UK will you apply to those markets?
I think the first thing would be not to copy and paste.
Mm.
It's easy to say, okay, I've gone to Nigeria, I'm just going to do this thing in the UK. It can't work. I think you need to understand, you've learned that you need to understand the local market. Nigeria to Nigeria, the way they settle is Nigeria to the UK, the way they differ. For example, trust. Trust, here I say, here I use worst case is okay, my worst case. If I can't trust you by saying that the first contact I have is if I can't trust you, I already have this perception that Nigerians are out to stand up and they're even more on edge. So you need to understand how the market differs.
Yeah.
The same thing will obviously apply to the churches of this world. Markets are different. Understand the market and don't just copy and paste from
Like that.
from
Very
from
good.
So I think that those things would help us. And at the end of the day, you still need people that are local in those places. Partnership, no matter what, even if you're starting a whatever you're building,
Mm.
you still need to partner one way or the other.
Mm.
Find who can open doors for you. In our building, for example, in the UK, when we opened our office, there happens to be a company there that does flyers. So we partner with them, they do the flyers for us. Tomorrow we can also do something for them. Opportunities just come from them. You can never, no man or woman is an island. So wherever it is you're going, leverage on local partnerships. Open your mouth, speak, be of value, be visible. So I think that those are the key things that we would take wherever it is that we're going. Understand the market, be visible, and partner, be open to collaboration. Because the market is huge for everyone.
Mm, 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 mm. Handling 1 million packages, that's an incredible milestone. Now, what have been some of the most surprising and challenging lessons from handling such high volume?
There are plenty.
First of all, how did you
um,
guys even celebrate your 1 millionth package? Did you
Funny
throw a,
enough,
did
we
you throw a
haven't.
party?
I don't think we've
Did you
even.
throw a
We've even
party?
I don't think we've had the time to actually celebrate. To be honest, we just keep it moving. Honestly, I think that's what they call see finish ourselves. Handling packages. The most
Tell us some of the most
interesting.
powerful. Sorry, let me share something with you quickly that I saw. I
Yeah,
said I would
yeah.
share with you guys. So there is this company called, I think it's North Face. It's a company that make clothing for tough weathers. So one lady did a viral video. She was on top of a mountain somewhere. I don't know the part. And the coat she bought, they gave her the perception that these coats can stand any weather. And then she was drenched in water. She did a video. The company saw the video. You know what they did? They created a new coat, flew somebody on the helicopter, went to meet the. I'm like, yo, this is a crazy customer service story. So tell us about yours. What's the most
Man.
craziest
Where
you
do I
guys have
start?
done?
Unfortunately, not that budget.
Ah,
But okay. One of the highlights will have to be Oh, McDonald's. It wasn't even Burger King. The highlights will have to be one of the highlights will have to be McDonald's. Shipping McDonald's from the UK overnight to Lagos. That was one of the wildest things we did a few years ago.
Wow.
And we didn't know there would be a market. In fact, we just thought we just wanted McDonald's. That's the truth. And we just thought, okay, there might be some people that are interested. And we found that quite a few people were interested, shipped it in, delivered it fresh. People, heated it up, ate their McDonald's, cured their cravings. That was fantastic. Just having the pictures and the videos back from that. We've had a lot of wild ones. I think when we first started, I remember our first Christmas. That has to be one of the hardest ones. Our first Christmas, we were just getting into the game, we're still excited. So we were taking orders right up until the last week before Christmas. That's something that
Yeah.
we'll never do till forever, unless we can carry it in our own hands. And we were taking orders. And I mentioned that one of the ladies that we used to work with ship things. So we offered to, bring things in for her husband. And we're really feeling good with ourselves. So that's how we didn't know that there will be customs issues. Everything, Christmas trees, the guy's shipment, everything was stuck. We were now working in the same office with this lady. We didn't even know how to keep our face. We didn't know how to, what else to explain. It was so terrible. We kept apologizing. We disappointed quite a few people that year. But we learned our lessons, and we learned from then on never to try that again. Once it's
I like that.
period, to give everybody a deadline, and we don't exceed that deadline, because we believe that it's not everybody's money you need to take. If you can't deliver on the service, don't take the money for it. We won't.
I
do
like
it.
that.
You have to keep your integrity when you're running a business. So that was a big learning for us. I think there's so many other things, but right now at the top of my head I can't really remember. Maybe Kike will remember a few other.
Yeah. Mm, I like that. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Wow, this is so
I was going
powerful.
to add, there was even one last Christmas. Was it last Christmas? Yeah, last Christmas. We brought in drinks, exotic drinks. In fact, it was for a huge wedding in the East. It was over 2 ton or so worth of drinks from
That's a
the
lot.
UK to Nigeria, delivered to the East. I mean, it was for us.
Oh,
It was quite. I mean, it was
it's
the
a
fact
big
that
win.
They needed it in 2 days, and we delivered in 2 days from the UK. That was huge for us. We were scared. In fact, our hearts were in our mouths. In fact, our team were on
You did
standby
it
till
afraid.
I think we did it afraid. They were on standby till like 2 a.m. And that's a testament of the team that we have. They literally, and this was Christmas. It wasn't even Christmas Eve. It was like the 23rd or 24th. It was actually Christmas Eve that they delivered. And Kiki and I were not even around, but they stayed. They delivered. They made sure. They said, "Don't worry, we have it covered." They made sure the customer got it. That was, I mean, and I believe very strongly in faking it till you make it. Even if you haven't done it, the first container we did, we had, when the customer said, "Oh, can you do this?" We were like, "Of course we can do it." In our minds, we were like, there you go. But when we did it, we were like, okay, so it's not that bad. So even if you don't know it, research
Yeah.
what you're bringing in,
Yeah.
find out, make sure you have everything covered. Like Ike said, make sure you take out insurance for the customer. and be confident about it. I mean, everybody that is running a high-end business started from somewhere. So don't go afraid and say, oh, I'm not really sure. Sound confident and actually do the research, put in the work, and that would
Wow.
be the beginning of amazing things happening for your business.
Hello, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying this episode of the Paul Foh Podcast. Again, I want to thank our sponsors, Cargo Plug. Cargo Plug. Hey, for this episode, yeah, I'm going to put a link in the show note. I am shipping my books from Nigeria from Lagos to the UK using them. So you got to use them for your products and your services. All right. So, as you were talking, Amma and Kike, I realized that entrepreneurship has a common thread. So I interviewed a gentleman here in the UK. He's 18 years old. He runs a multi-million pound media business. He's 18 years old. Yeah. He said to me, he said, Coach, because I coach him, I coach him and his team. He said, Coach, when our first client asked me, can you do SEO? I said, yes. He said, Coach, I didn't even know what is SEO. I went to Google it. That's the mindset. He said, then the client said, okay, I like this SEO, this for me. Can you do website? I said, yes, my team can do website. It's only him who saying my team can do website. So like, yeah, what you're saying is really, really true. I know you guys are busy, so let me let you guys go. I'll ask two more questions and that'll be it. Who are the companies, business or entrepreneurs that are not even in your industry that you look at and you go like, wow, they get it. They get it. With all the challenges, these guys are doing it. And you're inspired by them. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Oh, she's good. She's very good. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Very. Oh yeah. Very, very, very good. Amma, you guys are in a high stress. Let's say very intense
High
industry.
stress
How do you guys
business.
relax? How do you guys relax? Do you go for a walk? Do you go for a run? Do you pray? You pray in tongues.
In fact, relaxing is a mixture, like you guys said, it's a mixture. I think we
You
found
just
what
pack your
works
bag and
for us.
travel.
Sometimes, sometimes you just like switch up and say, anyway, everything will be fine. The office won't burn down. In terms of relaxing, God first of all, I think has just having God, knowing that He has our back 100%.
Yeah.
We're a testament to His goodness.
Hallelujah. Very good.
Also, with regards to just spending time with family, with the kids, the husband, just being able to switch off sometimes and just be present in the moment
Present, yeah.
helps to
Like
relax. For me personally, I love to watch TV. I'm a TV junkie, so I spend a lot of my days indoors watching series, watching series, and trying not to think about work, but still thinking about it. It's terrible, but that's how I relax. Kike, we're very different, so Kike is different. She has her own.
How do you relax?
So for me, I
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. No problem. Wow, very good. This has been a good, 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 good. Amma, and no problem, no problem. I got it. I got it. Amma and Kike, this has been a very fascinating conversation. Very. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself like I did.
We did, and it flew by. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Thank you for being an excellent host.
Thank you,
And
thank
don't
you.
forget the things you said we're going to talk about, the opportunities.
Yeah, so now let's talk about the opportunities that we have for our listeners. Let's go. Tell us.
Oh, from us? Okay, so from
Yes.
Nigeria, we have an amazing service, if I may say so myself. We have air freight and sea freight. Our air freight leaves the UK every single Thursday,
Mhm.
and our office is in Victoria. Customers can have their items delivered to our office. Maybe you're shopping online, you can deliver to our office, or you can drop off 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, or you can also ask them to pick up anywhere in the UK, whether you're in Dublin or you're
Really?
wherever you are, pick up our things. It leaves every Thursday. We take 7 to 10 working days or faster, and we charge only £5 per plate. Now, that excludes any packaging. If you have a fragile item, of course, you don't have to wrap it. In the future, whereas we have to exclude any packaging, excludes pickup, and of course, excludes insurance. It covers delivery from our UK office to our Lucky Days 1 office, where you can pick up from free of charge, or you can have us delivered to your doorstep anywhere you are in Nigeria for a fee. That's the UK service. I should also add, of course, we have the US service, China, Turkey, etc. And for sea freight, is the most amazing thing for business owners.
Mhm.
You can do 4 to 6 trips a month, and it takes only, it costs £2.15 per kg. So you can imagine £2.15, and that includes clearing, customs to our office in Lucky Phase 1, where you can also pick up free of charge and or have us delivered to your doorstep anywhere you are in Nigeria. So air freight, sea freight, whatever option you need, hit us up. I'm sure you put our contact details, our website.
Yes, everything's gonna be there in the show notes. Everything's gonna be there in the show notes. I'll put everything there. For sure, for sure. I'm going to speak to Emmanuel now. He's gonna call someone in your office tomorrow. I have my books there in Lagos. I want to move some of them here so that when I go for these events, people want a physical copy of the book. But don't go yet. I want us to discuss something briefly before I let you guys go. But we'll stop the recording because I've got a few ideas that I wanted us to share in the so guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So follow Kike. Have you got an Instagram page? Because I checked you out.
No,
I
I
didn't
have
see you there.
LinkedIn. I have LinkedIn. I have a LinkedIn page.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
that
So I
bad.
saw your LinkedIn page. I'm going to put that on. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to put everything
Okay.
there. Click on the link, guys. Check them out. And after you watch this episode, guys, take a screenshot. Send me a DM on Instagram. I'll put it up in my stories and tell them what you learned from the episode. I thought this was brilliant. I had a good time myself. So click on the subscribe button, share, like, comment. I'll speak to you soon. But guys, don't go anywhere. I'm still talking to you guys. Let me just press stop and